The sun was melting into the rooftops of a quiet suburban neighborhood, the kind of town that wore peace like a fragile badge. Kids rode bikes along the sidewalk, sprinklers hissed, lawns gleamed in the dying light. From the outside, everything seemed ordinary. But for 17-year-old Marcus Johnson, ordinary had always come with an asterisk. Marcus wasn't a troublemaker. He was a dreamer, an honor student who loved to build things. That evening, Marcus wore his favorite gray hoodie and headphones as he jogged to the corner store to grab a drink. It was routine, harmless, but fate doesn't check routines. A misunderstanding was waiting, wearing a badge and a gun. In another part of town, his father, Dwayne Johnson, was finishing a motivational talk at the community center. A man of strength, patience, and principle. He preached about calm and chaos, about standing tall when life hit hard. The street was almost empty when Marcus exited the store, sipping his sports drink and adjusting his headphones. His reflection shimmered briefly in the glass door. Just another kid, lost in music. Then came the screech of tires. A black and white police cruiser swung around the corner, stopping hard. Two officers stepped out. The younger one, jittery and pale, shouted before even closing his door. "Hey, you, hands where I can see him." Confusion twisted into fear. Marcus raised his hand slowly, the bottle slipping from his grasp and rolling down the curb. He'd seen moments like this on TV, the grainy videos, the headlines, the protests, but never thought he'd be the one under the lights. The older cop, a veteran with a hard jaw, stepped forward. "We got a report of a break-in 2 blocks from here. Description matches." Marcus blinked. "Matches? I just came from the store." "Yeah? We'll see." That pause was all it took. The younger cop drew his gun. "Turn around now," he barked, voice cracking. A woman across the street gasped and pulled her child close. Her phone was already out, camera trembling. Marcus's heart thundered. "Please," he said softly. "I'm not who you think I am." But the flash of red and blue had already painted him guilty. The older officer moved closer, one hand on his weapon. "Kneel." Marcus dropped to his knees on the cold pavement, breath shaking. The air smelled like asphalt and fear. He thought about his father's lessons. Stay calm, speak clearly, don't make sudden moves. But even calm couldn't protect him from the way the younger cop's hand trembled near his trigger. "Dispatch," the veteran officer muttered into his radio. "We got a suspect detained, male, black, late teens." The shout echoed down the street. Somewhere, a dog barked. Then from around the corner, headlights appeared again. A black SUV rolling in slow, steady. Marcus squinted through the brightness. The car stopped. The door opened, and out stepped Dwayne Johnson. His broad frame filled the air with something different. Not just power, but purpose. The kind of presence that silenced chaos before a word was spoken. His eyes locked on his son, kneeling, hands on his head, fear bleeding into every breath. The air seemed to fold in on itself when Dwayne Johnson stepped into the glow of police headlights. His boots pressed softly against the asphalt, his every step steady, deliberate, like the earth itself was watching. He didn't run, didn't shout, but the weight of his silence carried more than any siren. "Sir, stay back," the younger officer yelled, hands still twitching near his weapon. Dwayne didn't even blink. "That's my son." "Your situation," Dwayne interrupted, voice even, "is that you got a 17-year-old boy on his knees in the street for buying a drink." The younger cop swallowed hard. "We had a report." "Of what?" Dwayne asked, taking another step forward. "Of being black in the wrong neighborhood." The older cop stiffened. The silence stretched. The woman filming whispered, "Oh my God, that's his dad." The younger officer raised his hand. "Sir, I said stay back." Dwayne's eyes flicked toward him, calm but cutting. "If you point that weapon any higher, son, you'll regret the choice you make next." The tremor in the young cop's hand deepened. The veteran reached out, lowering it slightly. He'd seen that kind of confidence before. Not arrogance, but command. Dwayne stepped between the flashing lights and his son, his body casting a long shadow that split the street in two. The authority in his father's tone was the kind that made the moment feel sacred. Slowly, Marcus rose, his knees aching from the pavement. The veteran officer shifted uneasily. "Look, sir, we're just doing our job." "No," Dwayne said quietly, "you're doing what fear tells you is your job. But fear doesn't wear a badge. Courage does." Dwayne lifted his hand slightly, not as a threat, but as a warning. "You want to pat him down? Do it right, hands visible, no weapons drawn. And if you touch him like he's guilty, I promise this town will know exactly who you are by morning." The veteran nodded. slowly holstering his gun. All right, he said, his tone softer now. Let's just handle this calmly. He gestured to his partner. Holster your weapon. The fear that had gripped Marcus just hours ago was now replaced with a profound understanding of strength, courage, and the protective love of a father. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson hadn't just arrived physically. He had arrived with authority, calm, and a presence that reminded everyone watching that courage often speaks louder than weapons. In that moment, Marcus realized that being brave doesn't mean never being afraid. It means standing tall, staying calm, and trusting the people who will show up when it matters most. This story isn't just Marcus's story. It's a reminder for all of us. Stand up, speak out, protect those who need it, and never underestimate the power of presence and courage. A father protecting his son, a teenager facing fear, and a reminder that heroes don't always wear capes. Sometimes they simply show up. The neighborhood, once wrapped in tension and uncertainty, began to breathe again. If you were inspired by this story, don't forget to subscribe for more gripping cinematic tales that capture heroism, resilience, and the human spirit in action. Your subscription ensures that stories like Marcus and his father's reach the hearts and minds of everyone who needs to see them. Thank you for reading and for being part of this journey.